Hi everyone, my name is Dan Luthi. Part of a manager's responsibility is to be able to see where each of their team members are at and what's going on in their monthly close. Being able to dive into each of the transactions or to be able to see where they're at in each of the steps and what's going on throughout their way. Being able to see that in the month-end review feature is going to be a crucial part of that. Let's take a look at what's available for you in QuickBooks Online Accounting with those features. One of these new features provides you with a new bookkeeping tab. This new bookkeeping tab gives managers a whole different perspective that's going to allow you to be able to see your clients, see where they're at in each of their month-end review statuses, and be able to filter actually which employees are working on them or which ones are assigned to them, and be able to pick and choose which ones are being worked on, and for us to be able to actually pinpoint to the status of each employee's progress. Let's take a look at Vincent specifically, and let's see where he's working or which clients he's assigned to and where he's at with each of the clients that he's working on. So first off, we can see that Vincent's assigned to two clients, Do-It-Yourself Bike Repair and Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Vincent hasn't started on Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, it looks like, this month. Both of them, all three of his statuses for month-end review, still need to get going. But for Do-It-Yourself Bike Repair, he has got that one started, and we can see some progress and movement that he has with it. The fun part about this as well from a management standpoint is we actually don't need to click on the QuickBooks icon to be able to launch right into it. We can click on this yellow icon here and it will actually pull us a left nav available or a right nav available. This right nav will actually give us some detail and context around each of the subcategories that are available within month-end review. Within that month-end review, we can of course set up our own categories and tasks that are particular to our specific firm or to the specific client, but also the pre-populated tasks and where we're at in the progress with each of these. Of course, each of these items are going to allow, we can adjust and change where each of them are at. Of course, we can see some of these are completed already. Some need to still be worked on, and some it looks like we need to support with. So let's take a look at some items that we need some support with. Specifically, we can see in the transaction review section, there's some uncategorized transactions without payee that look like they need some support. So let's dive into those and see what we can do to help Vincent out. So all we need to do is click on the view details. We don't even have to go back to the home screen, which I absolutely love. That makes it so much easier for you as a manager to be able to quickly dive in, see where we need to be able to help, and see if it's something that we need to help reach out to the client for, or if there just needs to be a question answered or something else from that standpoint. Now that we're launched into it, as you can see, it was really quick and easy. Not really complicated from that standpoint at all. There wasn't a huge amount of page switching or anything from that standpoint. To be able to drive right into this home screen, we can see how many open transactions need to be taken care of. Also with the uncategorized transactions, it tells us that it looks like we have 4 checks or 4 expenses that need some details. We have 2 of them that are uncategorized income, 2 of them that are uncategorized expenses. And so we're waiting for information from the customer, or we have this information in email and we just haven't entered it into the system yet. And so let's see what we can do to be able to get some help to Vincent. So let's shoot him a quick email or send him a Slack message to be able to make sure that we get some help and get those taken care of as quickly as possible. They're also looking a little bit old since we've been working on September's close. Let's see what also we can do to be able to make sure they get closed out this period instead of letting them linger that much longer. There's also a handful of transactions, 184, that have a bunch of payees that are missing. The nice part about this, and this is one of the areas that I absolutely love about this, as a manager, we can make sure that we're setting new practices in place within the firm that won't allow for this many to come through our bank reconciliation as well, or our bank feeds. It'll be important for us to be able to catch that and give some good coaching to the accountants to make sure that nothing's being missed. But outside of that, as a manager, your job here is to be able to, of course, make sure not only that we're coding the transactions, because that's definitely not your job, but your job is to make sure that the items are being taken care of and that they're being reviewed. You're not reviewing the detail or the minutia of what's going on. You're just making sure that the process is moving fluidly. You're making sure that the information is being taken care of, and of course, that your employees just aren't click and done when there's work to be done. We need to make sure that, of course, that that's being taken care of, and then that's not something that's just being done automatically. And so as we click into these items and as we go through it, it'll allow us to be able to see the progress of what's going on and make sure that we're not missing anything as we're working through it. Also, in some cases, if we're working with Vincent on this to make sure things get taken care of, we can also add a quick item for him to be able to address with it. So specifically, if we knew where the deposit detail was for these transactions, we could add a quick task for him down here below. Super quick here, just for him to be able to point him in the right direction to be able to make sure he could get that taken care of. Along with it, while we're here, we can click quickly into the account reconciliation window to be able to see where we're at in the progress of how many uncategorized or unreconciled transactions there are, when the last reconciliations were complete, and where we're at on the status updates of each of the additional items for the reconciliation window that need to be taken care of. This will help us to be able to, again, create more visualization from a management standpoint to help us understand what needs to be done to assist in making sure that the close is done on time and, of course, it's being done accurately. As a manager, of course, we want to make sure that these are being done on time, but also that the additional items are being done to the customer specifications. Not, of course, all of these items are going to fit every client's needs, and so having that flexibility and having the ability to be able to add additional context and information that's needed for each client will be crucial. Being able to add the additional flexibility to take things within QuickBooks or even potentially outside of it will help us to be able to put in that more customization and that ability to be able to make this close feature or this month-end feature, review feature, much more customizable for each individual client and add to the flexibility, but also add to the usability for us within the close. Along with that, we can also move over into the final review. We know we haven't started here as well. We still have the ability to add to each individual client's particular needs. But with this as well, we know this area is not complete and it hasn't driven into any of the links, but if we were, we could also mark those statuses and make any changes or add any additional comments or document or details that need to be done here. The nice thing with this as well is once we're done with that initial review, we just click this button up at the top, move right back to our practice, and then we're back to back where we started. Not a huge amount of movement. We're right from our books, from each individual client, right back to our master sheet. We didn't go back to the overview tab. We went back right to that bookkeeping tab to where we can see where the next client is. And again, we can quickly drive into that right navigation window and see the progress of each of those clients that we're working on. Hope this helps, and good luck working with each of your clients on their month-end reviews.